Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
What's up, guys? AWA in order. What's up? Hi, Vortex. Now, okay, episode 16. Let's talk pop. No. If you're wondering why this is not a Star Wars stream, well, that's because I'm saving that for tomorrow. We're gonna spoil Mandalorian tomorrow. The chapter 22. The 6th episode of season 3. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow, and we're gonna talk all the other stuff of Star Wars. The news drop from yesterday, today, and the news is gonna drop tomorrow. It's gonna be basically a Star Wars centric stream tomorrow. So it's gonna be a recap of everything Star Wars. So that's why we're not gonna talk about Star Wars tomorrow. It's just tomorrow's a special episode dedicated to just Star Wars stuff. Okay, the Star Wars related topics from Star Wars Celebration. So no Star Wars today. We're gonna talk about Super Mario Brothers Spoiler review. And AQUAMAN: The Lost Kingdom stuff. Minecraft movie, I don't know why. James Mangold. Also, there's a Star Wars thing with him. Gunn confirms the Marvel vs. DC being discussed. And we'll talk Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, the new trailer. I've seen it. I don't know yet. I just have a placement holder time. But please like, share, and subscribe. Please. Do all that for me, okay? So all Star Wars related stuff is tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the 3rd and final day of Star Wars Celebration. So that's going to be a basic recap of everything tomorrow for Star Wars related stuff. And I am going to, upgrade the thumbnail tomorrow. Okay? I don't know what for Star Wars. I right now have Bo-Katan in my thumbnail from the latest Mandalorian episode, but from Celebration, I might. It's gonna be updated, so it's a placeholder thumbnail tomorrow. But this is only Star Wars related stuff. Okay, that's for tomorrow. This is Super Mario Brothers spoiler review. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It's fine. Don't go in there thinking of a plot. They're thinking there's gonna be a story to it. It's a general Mario story, so it's not. Don't be one of those critics expecting it to be. It's dogpiling on this movie, expecting it to be a plot. One of those going to this movie thinking it's gonna have a complicated plot because it does. It's just a general plot. It's just basically a Mario movie. The critics, you could tell, have never played a Mario game in their life. And I honestly gonna tell you this: you don't really need to be spoiled if you really ask. If you really want to ask me, you really don't really need to be spoiled for this movie because it's pretty much you pretty much know the story already. I'm sorry. What do you think Mario is, man? They're all repetitive. Nintendo games are all repetitive, man. All repetitive. Don't. Odyssey was too short, but it was so fun. Okay. So I like the movie. I think it's obvious. I like the movie. It really is. No, like, how am I gonna spoil this movie, really? Because there's not much really to spoil in this movie. Okay. Bowser wants to marry the princess and take over Mushroom Kingdom. Blinded. funny. Fender, it is rogue. It's very rogue. But I need Blinded in here. I need my friend Blinded in here. Because this is not. You can't really spoil this movie if you ask me. It's a typical Mario movie. It's already been spoiled. I guess the only part I'm gonna spoil for you is that Mario and Luigi are not from the world where the Mushroom Kingdom, where the Bowser's lands, where the Kong lands are. Hey, blinded.
What's up?
What's up? How are you, man?
I'm good.
You can't really spoil this movie, can you?
No, unless you know nothing about Mario, like how
Exactly.
Mario doesn't have a cat suit, you know, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Or if you didn't know that Bowser's a creep, yeah,
Oh, it was a creep.
yeah.
It's
If you know nothing about Mario, then I guess, yeah, you will be spoiled.
But like, what does it really matter if you know nothing about him? Does it really spoil? Because it's not really one of those movies where you're gonna go in, like the critics. You see the two scores, and the Rotten Tomatoes we don't take seriously,
Right.
but you see the two sides side by side. Mario's 95 on the audience, and on the critic side it's like 54, 55%.
Right.
But you can see from the critics score,
I think it should be a little bit higher. I think it should be maybe like 60, 64-ish. Like I think there's a lot of people who, I mean, there are. Here's the thing. I mean, there is an issue with this movie, but I don't think the critics will really see it from that perspective. Of
no,
like
they see it from a story perspective.
yeah, they see it from. But the thing is, I kind of get that perspective. But at the same time, like most of these people don't care about Mario. Like they just think that's my issue, right? Is that I think even the people who directed and made this movie see Mario as just like for kids, which I mean, I guess it's debatable if it's for kids, but Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario himself,
No, this movie
has,
is on track. I think this movie might hit $1 billion.
I think this movie it's gonna definitely go over 500 million.
Yeah,
I don't know what some people are talking about, but yeah. But I was saying
it's gonna be the first video game over 500 million. I get it.
Yeah.
It's on pace for that right now.
But as I was saying that like if they reviewed it as a kids movie, I think it should be higher. But if they're complaining about the story, like
not realistic at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I mean, it just I mean, I kind of maybe expected a little bit more from this movie as just a fan. I mean, like if you've played Mario games, they're not like not every kid can beat a Mario game. Let's be honest here. There's some easy Mario games, but there are Mario games that are pretty difficult.
There are some, yeah. So this is how I
Yeah.
best describe this movie. It's basically It's basically just watching a video game gameplay cutscenes the whole movie.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what it is.
You're not playing the game, and here's the thing: there's you're not really playing things. They're not really playing the game, but there's kind of looks like there's some scenes in this movie where it looks like there's actually gameplay involved.
Right. I was even telling my friend, I was like, you know, that Mario Kart scene. I'm like that whole with you know how the carts had the weapons on it.
Yeah.
I'm like that's gonna be in the next Mario Kart. That's definitely going to be in the next Mario Kart because I keep saying they're going to do like elimination mode and a battle mode. I mean, we do have a battle mode, but it's not on the race, right? It's like you're in an arena and you drive around and you try to knock people out. So I want to see that in the next game because I love Mario Kart 8. That's probably one of the best Mario Kart games. I don't care what anybody says.
Forte, it's basically a video game.
Yeah.
It's summarized. It's basically a field game. It's just not the player, the user playing. That's basically all it is. And
Right.
they did show some gameplay, kind of like you're actually kind of like making you think you're actually playing the game. With some of the like there's some the side scroller stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Or
They only did that really once, like in the beginning of the
yeah,
movie, when they
yeah,
were in like Brooklyn. But I mean, there's like a ton of Easter eggs, like his phone ringing. That was the
yes.
GameCube. The me on his phone, the icon. I was even saying that the dad is Talon or um the basically it's like a Mario Easter egg and Zelda, right? Zelda Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time. So there's a bunch of there's even a Pikmin when they're going to fix the pipe in the beginning of the movie. You could see a Pikmin statue on the table. So there's like a bunch of Easter eggs. I mean, he's playing Kid Icarus. Like if you know Nintendo and you've played
Yeah.
Nintendo, you'll pick up on it. There's even a Sunshine, Mario Sunshine. One of the stores had the logo Mario Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? I mean, I think there are good parts of the movie, like when I was genuinely having fun, and I'm like, oh shit, I wanted this to keep going because this was
Yeah.
some of my favorite aspects of Mario games, like the whole when Luigi gets dropped off in the Dark Lands, right? With
Darklands,
Bowser's
yeah.
Kingdom. You can hear the Luigi's Mansion music playing, so that was pretty.
Yeah.
I love Luigi's Mansion. There was King Boo in the movie too, which I wasn't expecting because I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
thought they were gonna put
Because
not gonna put booze in it.
they didn't show any other Boos besides him.
No, yeah. So I like King Boo. I like Luigi's Mansion, but also too, I think another part that I like just because one of my favorite games is Mario 64 was the eel.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remembers that eel, and that eel's also in Mario Odyssey. Um, but that was a little fun callback where they get eaten by the eel. Um, so there is parts of the movie where you could tell, like Easter egg wise and
Mm-hmm.
the visuals, like this definitely look like a new Mario game, right? Or even I want to say too much Donkey Kong, right? I think we did get Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong and
Yeah,
Cranky Kong, and
once.
I think there was a reference to uh, Funky Kong. I didn't see Donkey Kong Jr. Because I did see him in the trailer, but I didn't see him in the movie. Also, too,
The thing is,
was there a part
Donkey
of the
Kong in this
movie? Hold on, I have to ask you a question because I don't remember this, right? And I looked it online. There was a part of the movie with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know. Did they?
Because there's a scene that is online that I'm like I know where it would fit, but like I don't remember seeing that in the scene where it was like when
No.
Luigi gets captured. It was supposed to do a flashback, and you see Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. So I don't know.
The only thing I remember is Luigi's at the park and some kid destroyed his castle and Mario came up to defend him. That's all I remember.
Okay, because I don't remember that scene. I don't remember that scene at all. I don't think they were babies then. I just think they were the young children then. No, they were Baby Mario. It was Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. If you played Yoshi's Island or Mario Kart, it was the baby version of them.
They do fly by Yoshi's Island in this game in the movie.
Yes.
Briefly. And you do see some of the Yoshis.
Yeah, you do see some of the Yoshis. But the Yoshi, I guess that we know.
Vortex.
Yeah, I hope here's the thing. I mean it's gonna be successful, right? Like there's no way this movie's gonna flop.
It's right now, look what's on pace for. I got this discussion from right here. It's killing Mario.
Yeah, I think it did 300 plus worldwide, which was pretty big.
68 million, 368 million worldwide. If that doesn't hit 500 billion, it's gonna
500 billion.
500 billion. It's a billion. that. You know what? This could hit with that opening weekend. That could hit $1 billion.
I think it has the rest of the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a short movie, so I could see people going back and seeing it again.
Yeah.
Um,
I f-
I also
this-
think if Nintendo was smart, they would tease something game related, and
yes.
like
Yes.
just like put out on Twitter or something, tease something, because we know there has to be some Mario game in development. I think it's a 2D Mario game, but we'll have to
Here's the
see.
thing. Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey came out the same year. Look what's coming out
Right,
this year. The sequel to Zelda. Nothing to
right.
Mario.
Nothing
But
Mario. We just have all we know from Nintendo going forward is Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin
mm,
4, which I really want to play Pikmin 4. You already know I have the collector's edition
yes.
pre-ordered for Zelda, so I want to see what else they can come up with. I'm hoping we can get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered this year, and Metroid Prime 4 maybe. So
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo right now is killing it. I don't know anyone who will disagree with that. If you're a Nintendo fan, there's plenty to go around. I mean, there's even a rumor that we're getting the next console probably next year. So
Already?
yeah,
Oh, announced though. Announced next year.
I think it will be announced. It'll probably be announced early
I
next
think
year and then late.
I think the Switch could go a couple more years, honestly.
It could. I think it's going to, but I think we are due for a
I
new
think
Switch pretty soon.
I think I know. See this. I think I know. PS5 and Xbox are almost 3 years old, and
Right.
probably like in 3 years, they're probably gonna be like a PS6 or the next Xbox.
I
And
think there's
probably
gonna be a
looking-
pro
yeah.
version.
I think
Yeah.
I think you really don't need another console for those companies for like at least 7-8 years. I don't think you have to go every
Right.
4-6 years. Really, we're getting to a point where it's so strong technology wise. You don't really need to do
Right.
that.
Well, even if it's not strong technology
Mm.
wise, we haven't really been getting a lot of games
No,
from PlayStation or Microsoft. I mean, Starfield is coming out this year, and I'm excited for Starfield. We have Spider-Man, but all their other studios, like what is Naughty Dog working on for PlayStation? What
that's
is Sucker
I
Punch
don't know.
working on? They have a bunch of other studios, like what is Sony Benz working on? Like Days Gone came out now 4 years ago. This month it makes 4 years, and no one knows what they're working on. So I think it's time we've seen some stuff from PlayStation. They've been dragging their feet. Show us some gameplay for
Logan.
Spider-Man.
I know, like so.
Yeah, Wolverine, something.
Yeah, because like I'm hyped for. I mean, I'm hyped for Spider-Man. If it's by Insomniac, the same company as Spider-Man, I mean, people are gonna be hyped for
Right.
Wolverine. Like, does he know what? I hope they introduce. I hope they kind of tease them in Spider-Man 2.
I think there is going to be a reference to Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see, you know what I could see happening. This is a big ask for them, but I would lose my mind if there was like a mini boss in the game that was the Juggernaut. That would be really cool for a Spider-Man game. I know it would be very similar to Rhino, but I think just having the Juggernaut in a Spider-Man game, like people would lose their minds. That and Punisher. I really want Punisher.
Juggernaut was in one of the Spider-Man games. I think with Sarah Dimensions, the Mysterio. I think it's one of the.
I never played that game.
Oh, it was fun. I think he was a boss of one of the levels.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he's always kind of been a Spider-Man villain, so.
It's up to you. I like Lego, but I'm not going to.
Right.
That's for Christmas. So why don't you get one for Christmas and one for your birthday? That's all. Yeah, but this movie, like, it was fun. Like, you know what, people had their questions about Chris Pratt's performance as voicing Mario. No problem at all.
No, I think, to be honest, I didn't mind anybody's voice. I thought they actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the minority for that, but like I really like Charlie Day as Luigi.
You know one thing, Michael Keegan Peele. I forget, not Peele. Michael Keegan. The only thing, he did not sound like him when he played Toad. It did not sound like him. Like Toad did not sound like him.
Toad sounds weird. He kind of he goes like like he doesn't talk a lot, and I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I mean, there was a lot of There's another thing that I forgot to mention about
But
the music in this. There's so many like nods to other Mario games, like the
yes,
room with Toad, the special room that you go into. You
the
could
mo-
hear the music
I'll
for
say
it.
this: you got the game, the music from the games, all that. I say the soundtrack, the songs they use for certain scenes was top notch, perfect
I
fit.
like the score. I wasn't
Yeah.
too big of a fan of the you know how they were playing a lot of 80s music, and
Yes.
I think I understand what they were trying to go for because Mario is from the 80s, so it makes sense to use them. But I think what they should have done, in my opinion, was if you're going to use those songs, I think you needed to revamp them or make them sound like they were like a kind of like an 8-bit game or a 16-bit game, right? With the
Hmm.
music. Also I'm really disappointed that they did not play the Donkey Kong water music.
Oh
Really
yeah.
super disappointed. And once Donkey Kong was underwater, you should have played that fucking song. That is one of the greatest. I don't care what
Yeah, I
anybody says.
remember.
That is one of the greatest video game score ever to be composed. I listen to it all the time. It's so relaxing. It's kind of creepy, but it's relaxing. It's such a weird just look up Donkey Kong aquatic music and you'll find it. It's a great. I love that scene or the score when you play that in Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Countries is great games, great games. I don't know anyone who hates on Donkey Kong. You really can't.
I don't hate Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong. I mean, I bought
I
that
love
game
Donkey Kong.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just my favorite game. I told you this. My favorite 64 game is Donkey Kong 64.
it's 64, right? Yeah, you always told me about that. Yeah, that's why I want a new Donkey Kong game. I
Yeah.
mean, I love Tropical Freeze, but
Hmm.
like, I definitely want to see a new. There was actually a rumor about this. That Activision was working on a Donkey Kong 3D game. You know the
Oh
team that made Crash Bandicoot?
yeah.
They were working on a 3D Donkey Kong game and it got canceled, but Shigeru Miyamoto liked the idea, so he transferred the project to the Super Mario Odyssey team. So the rumor is that they're making a 3D Donkey Kong game that's like an open world game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully that rumor's true because some of these Kirby, that last Kirby game, that was really good. So I
Hmm.
think they need to start bringing some of these characters that are in 2D to 3D, and
Hmm.
Donkey Kong is definitely one of those characters.
Yeah. I like Seth Rogen's portrayal of Donkey Kong here.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's,
liked his laugh. I liked him as Donkey Kong. He did feel like what I imagined for the character if he was going to talk a lot, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, he got a lot of screen time. Surprisingly, like I thought it was just gonna be.
Right.
I love the rivalry between him and Mario.
Mario, right.
I love it. It's like,
Yeah,
they both have
you couldn't not do that.
no. I love how they both have like the father thinks so highly,
Mhm.
not low of them, and
Right.
they're like,
You know,
and that doesn't even bring them together. Breaks them.
right, right. Speaking of that because they kept talking about the father thing.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. Why wasn't Bowser Jr. in this movie? I feel like Bowser Jr. should have been in this movie just because also you see his little ship that he flies. I don't know what you would call it,
Yeah.
but if you play the games, he's always in that little ship that he flies around. And so they use that in the movie, and I'm like, wouldn't it make more sense if Bowser Jr. was in this movie and basically he was lying to Bowser was lying to Bowser Jr. because in Mario Sunshine he lies to him saying that Peach is his mother, um,
Oh yeah.
Bowser Jr.'s mother. So
Ew.
I mean that could have been yeah. So I mean he could have said that to him like
I'm
as I mean it
sorry.
would have been messed up, but that is in the game. So
I could. I know. Here's the thing. I know in the games in the movie, if you obviously Bowser marrying Peach, Like
Right.
it's kind of if you really think about it, if it wasn't Mario, it's really weird.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they never really developed Bowser,
You
and
know,
and that's what I hope. Like, if they do a Zelda movie,
they never developed Peach
don't
either,
right.
and
Yeah, they really don't.
they had her
They don't develop
Miles.
any of these characters really. I think
No,
the
that's
only
Mario.
character who maybe I would say has
Miles
some
Miles never been a developed character.
right, but I mean, if there's one character I feel like does get some sort of development, it would be Luigi because Luigi
Yes, he does
has
most of
to
them.
he does have to in
They should
Luigi's mansion he has to save
they should have
Mario.
developed they should have developed Peach because they did explain a little bit about her history that
Right.
she's not from that world either. She's probably from the same world as Mario and Luigi, and they never explored that.
Well, that's a this has been an ongoing theory ever since Mario Galaxy, but the theory is that Rosalina, if you know
Mhm.
Rosalina, right,
Yeah, I
from
know
Mario
Rosalina.
Galaxy, that's the rumor is that's Princess Peach's mother. So maybe if they do a sequel with Mario Galaxy, they could potentially explore that because if you play the beginning of I was just say Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy, they have like a little storybook, and they talk about how one of her children left her or something like that, and so a lot of people thought that that was referring to Princess Peach because they do look alike, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also too, I think people would want to see Daisy. I mean, Daisy
Yeah.
would be definitely a fun character to see because she's not like. I mean, the thing is, yeah, she's really not like Princess Peach, right? Because she's more aggressive. She's
Mm-hmm.
like super aggressive. So, I'm sure like that might play well to some certain
She's
people.
more of Luigi's Squeeze, right?
No, she's like the total opposite. She's more aggressive. Like if you see her in Mario Strikers, she goes like hard. Like that's one of the jokes in the game where she just like is like
Mm-hmm.
aggressive for no reason, even though it's like just a sports game. Yeah, just look up like Daisy and Mario Strikers and you'll see it.
No, it's just that Vortex in the movie. It was implying that she's from their world,
Right. Well,
and
she's
like,
from somewhere because she's
yeah,
human.
yeah, she's like if you obviously the Vortex, everybody knows Mario that
Right.
she's the only human there. I mean, like,
It's not really a batshit crazy idea because like I
no,
said, it's in
yeah.
the only reason why people have that theory is because of Mario Galaxy, because of the
Yeah.
beginning of the game.
I mean, they basically go back to Brooklyn,
Right.
right? With the final battle scene with Bowser when they become invincible, they like that should like maybe be like maybe that should have done something to Princess Peach. Realize, oh my god, everybody here looks like me. We're from this world,
Right.
right?
Yeah, they could have done something like that.
Yeah.
I do.
What?
Oh God. Oh my God. That's actually in my opinion, that is what a Sonic fan would
Yeah.
say. Sonic fans, I really don't like Sonic as a game.
Oh my god!
Don't like
Don't
the
even think
community either.
don't think about who does Sonic Paramount, right?
Paramount.
Don't even think about Illumination of Paramount and Nintendo. Like Sonic versus Mario, Dawn of Justice.
Oh my God. I
Don't
could
no,
see that. I could see that happening as a movie though.
I could
Sonic
see it
versus
happening.
Mario.
No, not Dawn of Justice. Sonic versus Mario. The dawn of video games.
Or they might do the Olympic games, like the games, and I never really liked those games. I think I played when they first came out, the one on the DS, but they always been. I just don't want a Smash Brothers movie. That's the one thing I'm like, please don't have all these characters show up. It's not the Avengers. Like it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Like
What if I Thanos? We're Thanos. We're the villain.
yeah, it's just
You know the
This
main
is
boss.
weird.
You know the main boss of the Smash Brothers, the hand. That's supposed to
Right.
represent us.
Yeah. It's supposed to represent the player, yes.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine that was like the antagonist for a Smash Brother movie? It would just,
Yeah.
I couldn't register it. It's like,
Do you remember the
why?
game? You know what's similar? Do you remember the show Reboot that we get on YTV?
Yes, yeah,
You know
with
when
the
every
CGI. Yes.
Yeah, every time they go into a game, right? They go into the game mainframe, and every time there's a game coming down, like that big purple thing comes in, and they have to go in, and they enter a game, right?
Right.
That thing, the user they have to defeat. That's the player.
Right.
That's us. That's us, right? The Bob and the other two, the green, the brother and sister, they have to defeat the person inside the game. That person that is played by us, the user, the player.
Mm-hmm.
The cast the hat.
Oh man.
Yeah, see, you're right. If they want to do a Zelda movie, they definitely have to really have a story for that, because Zelda has more story than Mario. Mario is just a simple story, basic story that anybody can get. Really, it's like you'll need like to really think.
Well, there's more. I mean, as Zelda has progressed, there's more plot details. There's more interesting aspects. So I think it would be a waste if they were just like, oh, this movie's successful, now let's just recreate this movie again, but with Zelda. Like there needs to, because again, I'm seeing this. Like, I understand the criticism, right? Like, oh, they don't really explain a lot of the lore in this movie, but that's what you have to understand, right? Like, this is the one-time example where I'm kind of like, I kind of don't agree with people who say that, right? Because, and we might as well just mention her name, because her name always gets brought up with this type of stuff.
Grace.
Yes, the what her criticism was, right? And my thing
she hated
is,
the movie. She
really hated the movie, but she was like, "Oh, I really wanted to be a fan and watch this movie." Here's the thing, right? You're not going to become a Mario fan after watching this movie.
No.
I don't think that makes any sense, right? Like, in my opinion, it's like saying you're going to become a boxing fan because you're going to watch the Rocky movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit weird. Like, yes, it is. It's just not the same, right?
No,
like,
it can't be. I know. For Last of Us, it's different, but that's because Last of Us.
But even then, with The Last of Us, it's like saying I'm going to be a fan of everything PlayStation because I watched the TV show of The Last of Us. It's like that's how things work.
I mean,
right?
she admitted she never played the game. She doesn't play Nintendo. So
she even said, she even kept saying Nintendo fans, and it's like, clearly she doesn't actually know that Mario isn't just the only fucking Nintendo IP. There's other Nintendo games, right? Like, not everybody, you could be a Nintendo fan, but there's Nintendo fans that don't like Mario, right? So it's like,
what has she ever? I never seen a review. Has she ever done a review of Detective Pikachu?
I think she did. I don't know what she said for that, but
I don't think she's a fan of video games at all. I think that's.
I think that's too. Yeah, it's. I think it was more clear with this because we were saying that she the only thing she did with The Last of Us was look up the cutscenes, which is easier to do with The Last of Us. You can't do that with a Mario game.
No,
right? There's no cutscenes.
Mario games barely has cutscenes. It's usually the beginning and the end. That's it.
Right. Yeah. It just looked really bad because even though I think some of her criticism was valid, the other parts of, oh, I just couldn't get into it and what's the lore, and she was like trying to be like, well, this doesn't make sense, and it's like, I get that, but even if you play the games, there's really no explanation of any of this. Like, you would have to read either the manual, right, for the first Mario game, but even then, that's been like ignored. So there's really no lore with Mario. It's just sort of like, yeah, there's Goombas, there's Troopas, there's Mario Galaxy, there's Delfino Island. There's all this different stuff in the games, but they're really not explained on. Like, they're just sort of there. You play the game.
Be jumped on.
Yeah, they're just there for the game.
Yeah,
and that's what she doesn't understand, right? Like, it's interesting, like, when you see people who are not tuned in to certain things.
Mario was never created to be a complicated story.
No, it was never a story. No, it was all gameplay.
Yeah, it was just some video games back then, especially in the early days. They never were meant to have complicated stories.
Right.
right? That's only that. Not I would say the '90s started to do that to turn the tide.
Right. I mean, well, there was RPGs,
There was RPGs, yeah, but no, but no, that's true.
but there was
But
no.
like,
It's not. But like when we're talking about Mario, it's
yeah,
so. It's not the same. Like it's really not the same. Like she can like. Why? Like she was saying, like, oh, when can Mario turn into a cat? Right. I get it. That's a newer thing, right? But
it
it's
is
also a
kind of new.
10-year-old thing, right? Like
Yeah,
that game came out 10 years ago now.
was that 3D Mario the first time?
3D World, yeah, that was on the
Yeah,
Wii U. So,
yeah,
but at the same
I
time, it's
remember.
like even if you didn't know Mario could, like, it's fairly clear that
It's
she. I
what
mean,
she
she even
said
says it
about
herself.
it's what she said about that comment that got people wild up though.
But the thing is, like, I know she said she's not a fan, right? But like,
Yeah,
she didn't, and she was doing research, but you could tell she really didn't know what to research or like how to explain it,
no,
right? Which by the way, you can't really do research on Mario.
no,
You really can't. You
there's
have to
no
actually
research.
just play the game
It's,
and realize, oh,
it's
this
just
is really just for fans.
I
That's what the
gotta
movie
know.
is. Like,
The whole thing about Mario is that you have to save Princess Peach from Bowser. That's it.
right. That's usually just it. And then it's all gameplay. You're all just jumping, you're trying to collect
Yeah.
stars or the moons. Um so there's not a lot of depth to Mario. I love Mario.
No.
I think the depth is in the gameplay, learning to do different jumps, doing different challenges. It's all
And you
gameplay.
know
You
what?
can't get that
Isn't
same
this
experience.
isn't this what people wanted from Mario? Isn't that what people wanted from video games? To be more like the video game movies, to be like the
Right.
video game? I mean, what do you expect? Like, what did people expect from Mario? To be like the '93 Mario movie, where it's the actual story and that it,
Well, I don't know what you are going to expect in terms of
yeah.
them explaining lore to you. There's no lore. This is not The Last of Us, right? This is not Mass Effect.
I
This is
mean,
not Fallout.
everybody,
This is
if
Mario.
if everybody knows, if you're a Mario fan, everybody going to this movie, if you especially know Mario, you're expecting it to be like this, pretty
Right.
much. Like,
I mean, yeah, I say with certain things, like even I mean, yes, the story is paper thin. I will agree with that, right? It's so paper thin you can call this Paper Mario. That's how paper thin it is. Okay,
yeah, it is very paper thin. I mean, yeah.
right. But this there's just you're not going to get the same experience. Like I think people and with her problem, and I see this with a lot of other people, is that they expect a movie to be like, especially if it's a medium like video games, they can't really adapt the same experience. Like you watching them drive around, it's not the same experience as playing Mario Kart. It's totally different,
Just
right?
like Mario, like what do you expect? Mario to be Last of Us? Mario could not be a TV
Oh,
series, right? Like you can't
oh
put Mario.
yeah. They just I don't really know. I really don't know.
like, like I said all the time. There's some video games that could do well as movies, and some video games that could do well as
Right.
TV shows. Mario is it's a perfect example where it's better as a movie.
Right. But even now, if they do Zelda's the one I'm gonna be more critical of.
Yeah, because there's more story to it.
There's potentially more story. You could do a lot of things, and also too, I don't want.
And the one critical thing is they have to make Link talk.
I don't know if I would be really for that. If there's one character aspect to Link, it's the fact that he doesn't talk.
That's the big thing right there. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and the fact that now we've seen a game where there are other people talking, voice acting wise, and Link still doesn't talk.
I mean,
I think that has become a character trait for him. You can't not.
Yeah.
If I see someone that's cast as Link, I think I would be very disappointed. You can cast. You can. This is what I say, right? You don't need to do this. Oh man, I'm really fucking concerned if they go the route of we'll just like do a basic, first Zelda retelling. No, don't do anything like that. The story that you should be telling is something like Ocarina of Time. That's what you should do.
Yeah, it's great. That's a great choice.
That's the one that I think has the more story elements There's a
Yeah,
lot more characters you can emotionally connect
because
with.
there's a lot of different timeline and story in Zelda. Like it could get confusing. So
Right.
yeah, that
And also too, if you do opt for Link not being able to talk, you could easily have Navi, who is a character who does talk,
yeah,
and sort of translate for him and be the one who is talking. I mean, it's a big risk to have a character not talking, but if you could do a character like Mandalorian, right, Din Djarin, and you don't see his face, I think someone needs to experiment with the idea of a character not talking. I mean, this is a visual medium, right? We don't need to have dialogue. We can still connect with the character. And that's why I say Ocarina of Time, because you see him as a kid. You could have a part of the movie where he's a kid and then half of it where he's an adult and he's like seeing that
Seriously.
most of his friends are dead, right? And
So
Zelda is
so
dark.
you
That's
want
another thing too.
Zelda
Yeah,
is
go on.
dark.
Zelda, there's no Zelda game, in my opinion, that isn't dark, right? There is some dark element to it. There's even some post-apocalyptic element to it too, right? Where it's like Ganondorf has completely taken over Hyrule, and it's
Ocarina's
not
dark as hell.
gritty, right?
It's
Yeah,
not gritty.
that's what I want, and that's why I'm like, Illumination makes kids movies, like it makes sense for Mario, but they can't do that with
Illumination.
Zelda. They can't. I'm sorry, they can't.
They could
That's
do
the
that.
one thing they just no.
They could do it with Kirby. They could do it maybe with Donkey
Yeah, you could do
Kong.
it with Kirby and Donkey Kong and with Zelda and when you get into Metroid, don't do this route. This is the one thing I asked them, like, please, please, please don't do this, because now everybody's perception is going to be like, that's Zelda,
And that
the movie, and it's like, that's not what it is.
Netflix wants to do Pokemon, which is another Nintendo thing.
Right. I'm fine with
Right.
that. Whatever you want to do with those franchises, I get it, right?
I
But
think
Zelda's
Pokemon
the
is
one, no.
I think live action Pokemon is not a good idea, honestly. Like I don't think it could work. I just don't.
Yeah. I think, I mean, even if they did a live action Zelda, I would be kind of like miffed. I'd be like, that's not a good idea. Maybe Metroid. You could do a Metroid live action movie,
Yes, you
but
can. Yeah, it could
yeah.
work because you could do a live action Metroid movie easily because and Brie Larson will star.
Right. I wouldn't mind Brie Larson as Samus. I know people would get, they'll be upset, but
Triggered.
but honestly, Sam. I mean, I think it would actually might work if she was Samus. She might be better as Samus than Captain Marvel.
We'll see how she does in the next movie.
Yeah,
New
we'll see.
director.
But I mean, she looks like Samus. I mean, so I don't see why
She does.
she couldn't be Samus. I mean, and she likes Nintendo, so why not? She said herself she wouldn't mind playing Samus.
I heard on John Campia, they had like it was a day or two ago. They're talking about what video games he has a list. He had subjects his list
Mhm.
of what could work as a movie. I'm like, someone suggested like Animal Crossing. But Animal Crossing is a movie.
And Animal Crossing, I could see that being a movie. I think that actually might happen sooner than we think.
I mean, Minecraft is becoming a movie, so why not?
It might, yeah. If you could do Minecraft, you could do the Lego movie. You could easily do an Animal Crossing movie. That movie, actually, now that I think about it, that movie could be just as successful as this movie, because the last Animal Crossing game is like one of the best selling games on Switch.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, because of the pandemic. But it reached a new audience, so
I know.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I do like Animal Crossing, so I wouldn't mind that. You could do a lot of. I mean, that's a
talk to villagers.
Oh my god. Yeah.
No, build a city. That's basically do. Help build.
Nah,
a city,
if people who say that never played Animal Crossing, so I mean, Animal Crossing, you could. I don't really like the new game, but like, in the older games, you could be a dictator in that game. You could do some crazy shit in that game. Yeah.
You're not gonna do that though. If they make an Animal Crossing, they're not gonna do that.
They gotta do if you do that in a movie, you have to at least have some jokes like that you could be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do stuff like that. They run their village as a dictatorship.
You know what kind of movie I want? I want a Sim City movie or something of some sort. We destroy the city. I want to destroy cities.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I mean, I wouldn't mind an F-Zero movie though. F-Zero movie
F-Zero.
seems, yeah, yeah. I mean, you literally are dumping on the Switch, so like, I ain't gonna take your comments serious.
Yeah, who's paying you to hate Nintendo?
It's like the Switch runs at 30 FPS. Which games? Because both the Metroid Remaster and Metroid Dread, they run at 60 FPS. Mario Kart runs at 60 FPS. Mario Odyssey runs at 60 FPS. So I don't know what you're talking about. Breath of the Wild runs at 30 FPS.
You know what
I
game
agree with that.
You know what game they should make? Duke Nukem be such a fun, cheesy game.
I thought they were making a Duke Nukem game, movie, I should say. With and people were like, oh, they should get John Cena. They're like John Cena as Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. I think that would work.
Duke Nukem. Oh yeah, like now I heard Peacemaker may not be next season. May not come out 2025.
Not most games are 30 FPS. So
Did you hear that? I just came home.
Vortex is a certified Nintendo hater, which is okay. We banish you to the dark realm.
Bye.
All the Nintendo haters go to the dark realm because they don't know what they're talking about.
I heard, like, speaking of John Cena, like I heard like Peacemaker season 2 may not happen to 2025.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I just came home like an hour and a half ago, and I saw Peacemaker trending on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I heard that they're pushing it back because of.
Oh, I hate that. Don't do that. That's a mistake, in my opinion.
Well, it's because of Superman.
I know. It's just that Peacemaker was such on the high. The first season was such on the high. I mean, it can make us. I mean, Superman has to really garner interest, right? Like, I don't know, because sometimes when you push back seasons like that, like 1 year I can understand, maybe 2 years, but 3 years.
Oh,
I don't know.
I gotta say this because he's going off in the chat. Vortex, I'm sorry, buddy, but your opinion has been nullified. You play Fortnite.
You play Fortnite? Oh.
Anybody who's sitting there playing Fortnite talking about Nintendo games suck. They never played no Nintendo game and they play Fortnite.
Fortnite's not a good game.
I cannot stand Fortnite. Fortnite is one of those games. I'm sorry, man. I know you like it. I know. I'm just taking shots just for fun, but I mean, I can't stand Fortnite. I'm sorry.
No,
I couldn't get into it. It was just really obnoxious. I just no. Nintendo, everything. Listen. I played almost 100 hours in Splatoon. Splatoon is a great multiplayer game. I'd rather play that over Fortnite any day of the week. Fortnite, everybody in Splatoon, they go hard as hell. Oh, Splatoon could be a movie too, by the way. I wouldn't mind a Splatoon movie. I wouldn't mind. And maybe at this point, just don't do a cinematic universe. You could do these movies separately. Just don't do a cinematic universe. Don't do a cinematic universe. That's the one thing I ask. You can make these movies, do whatever. Just, I swear to God, if I see Smash Brothers, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna go to Nintendo HQ. You joke, and then we're gonna get it. That's my issue.
Well, there has been incidents on this show where we say stuff and they end up coming true the next day. Like, so
no, it's for me the one thing that I will give Fortnite credit was they did removing building, which was awful. I thought building broke the game entirely. That was the reason why I didn't play that game. Yeah,
I hate building.
Yeah, it's so cheap. It's like, damn, like why would you put this in the game? Like,
yeah. Don't be wanting to build. All you want to do is shoot people, kill people. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't mind. What else could they do? For I want to see Alan Wake. That was one of the Alan Wake I want to see, and Control, because now Alan Wake and Control are in the same universe. That's fine with me. You could do something like that. Max Payne, a reboot, I guess.
A reboot? Yeah, you don't want a continuation of Max.
Yeah, no. Not with Marky Mark.
Wahlberg.
No,
Marky Mark.
no. Get rid of that crap.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people obviously want Red Dead Redemption. I think they're going to have to do Red Dead Redemption at some point in time.
They mentioned it on Campia.
Yeah, and I think they're going to do, if they had to do Red Dead Redemption, they have to do the second game and then the first game. I think that's what they have to do. Nah, the prequel, Red Dead Redemption 2, I think the story is better if you do it as a first movie, and then you could kind of like revise the first game.
Well, I mean, the game was a prequel.
Yeah, the game was a prequel though. Yeah, Red Dead 2. Yeah.
I hope
What
they do a
else?
third Red Dead, but I don't know.
I think they will.
You think so? Man, they have to get
really well.
They have to get Grand Theft Auto 6 off the ground first, man.
Yeah, once Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I think we'll get Red Dead Redemption 3 in like 2035 or some crap.
That's really big positive there.
Well, it's true. I mean, it's true.
It is Rockstar.
What other games? I guess. Now we're just gonna have to look at every game regardless of the story, just to see. Because I do think if you get a good script, I know we're getting a BioShock movie, so we're gonna have to see about that.
I'm surprised they're not doing a Skyrim thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Elden Ring. I meant Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, I think definitely does need a movie. There was a rumor, speaking of Elden Ring, there's a rumor that Sony was trying to make Demon Souls into a movie. Which to be honest, I think might be the more unique movies to see, right? Because it's like a medieval and dragons and it's dark fantasy. So it's a little bit different from what we normally have, but I don't know what story you could do.
No, but I know I want to sell on the Switch for a PS4 Pro.
No. I would say upgrade to PS5 because at this point we're pretty deep into the lifespan of the PS5, and the PS4 Pro is not going to be supported probably after next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do I have? I mean, I think I have a short I have a short list today because all the Star Wars stuff is tomorrow. Because we have another day of celebration, and so I don't want to so I want to do basically a recap show tomorrow. Right. Otherwise, we'll be talking about today, especially the Mandalorian episode 6 or chapter 22. But you know what? I mean, I'm kind of excited to talk about Star Wars, but I have to wait. We have to wait till tomorrow. Let's see what else I have. I don't know how long this is going to be. I know some people are busy because it's the holidays.
Right.
AQUAMAN's been moved up 5 days from Christmas. Your thoughts? I know you think it's a bad thing.
I think this is. I keep saying my belief is that this movie is bad. This movie is somehow the worst DCU movie. Or the DCEU movie. And I think this kind of shows. And there's also another rumor that also too, like, for me, indirectly confirms that it's bad. Because apparently the trailer is not going to drop until October. Which seems a little bit weird. I mean, that might not be true, but I just have a bad feeling about this movie. I really do.
To me, it dictates a Comic-Con. I think Comic-Con is the time of the year for this movie.
But I don't even think so. I don't even think that will be the case because of James Gunn. If James Gunn wasn't going to show his, because by the time at Comic-Con they're going to show Superman.
You think so? You think
I think they're going to. I don't know if they'll announce the casting for Superman, but I think they will show us something for Superman.
A teaser.
Yeah, and I think they'll put out Aquaman.
Maybe a placeholder logo. Or
if this is what they do, yeah, like I could see a placeholder, a logo, stuff like that. If this happens, then I believe the movie is crap. If James Gunn goes to Comic-Con and just announces or re-announces all the movies and a couple new movies, and shows maybe like concept art or announces directors or writers attached, shows the logos, basically what Marvel does, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a shadow drop of like a sizzle reel of different upcoming DC things, and Aquaman is part of that, but we don't get a trailer, then that to me is a bad sign.
I could see that.
If they drop a trailer, then maybe they're a little bit more confident.
They're confident Blue Beetle, man, because they dropped a trailer really early for that, and that movie's
Right.
5 months away. So they're very confident in Blue Beetle, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I remember. I think Thor dropped the trailer two months before.
Right. Yeah, they dropped it
The
in April.
Yeah. So 3 months actually, because the movie came out in July. But still, even 2 or 3 months is still not a good. Usually you get the second trailer in like the 2 or 3 months ahead. You don't usually get a first trailer, right? You usually get the second trailer.
Right.
It usually doesn't happen that way because Indiana Jones dropped a second trailer yesterday, and that movie is still 2 months out. So yeah. Like I hope Aquaman is good because I like Jason Momoa as Arthur. I really do like. I really like his Aquaman. I think he played. I think of the 5, no, the 6 or whatever DC characters. I think Jason Momoa of all of them has the fun the most playing his character compared to the other. I think he really enjoys playing Aquaman compared to Cavill as Superman. I think Cavill was not really happy with Superman or the way it's portrayed. Superman. I think Batman was okay with Batman, but it did affect his personal life. Actually, Gal Gadot did enjoy Wonder Woman. I don't know about Ezra's Flash, but I think Jason Momoa is the one that really does enjoy playing Aquaman. I think he really he symbolizes Aquaman right now. I hope he does get to be part of James Gunn's future. I really do.
It's gonna depend.
Yeah, I think. I don't know what. Oh, you know what? I don't think I had you on my trailer stream, did I?
No, because I've been avoiding trailers and I was busy.
Did you see any of them lately?
I did see Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't see Barbie. I practically avoided all the new trailers. I did see Ahsoka though. I did thought Ahsoka looked pretty good. I'm not a fan of I don't want to say I'm not a fan. I just never watched the Star Wars, Clone Wars, or Rebels. They just never particularly interest me. But I thought this trailer was looked pretty good, but again, I'm gonna have to wait and see.
You know, Batman's a fascist.
Yeah. I mean, I did see Blue Beetle though. I thought Blue Beetle. I'm not as excited as everybody. I didn't say anything because I just didn't want to like shit on it completely. But I didn't think it was a great trailer. I like the Batman fascist line. I actually did thought that was kind of funny. And
it's kind of true in some ways though. Like
especially Ben Affleck's Batman. Yeah. That's why I thought it was funny, right?
I mean, if you look at the Dark Knight version of Batman. Come on.
Yeah, like I mean they even call him a fascist in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
So that's always been an ongoing joke, so I don't know why people are kind of freaking out over that. And like I said, I think it's kind of funny because it does apply to Ben Affleck's Batman. But to me, like the one thing I didn't really like about the trailer was I was kind of hoping for like a more cool look like to the cinematography. And to me, it just reminded me like of a CW show, like just with like a little bit of a better CGI. Yeah. So that's why I was like, The way that they kind of described it, was like, oh, it was gonna be like Drive, you know, that Ryan Gosling movie, like a superhero version of Drive, which I was definitely super hyped when I heard that, right? Because like visually, that movie's cool and it's just very. It's just visually, I like that movie, right? The story's very basic though, so I didn't really see that in the trailer. I have to be honest, and I don't know. Will I watch it? Probably. It's a little bit more interesting than Shazam 2 for me, so I'll definitely check it out.
Shazam 2 is great. You gotta see it.
I will see Shazam 2. I mean, now it's on digital, so I'll check it out
Yeah,
eventually.
it is
But
on digital.
but I think Blue Beetle is a little bit more interesting because this is the first time we're seeing him in live action, and they're obviously going to reference Ted Cord and I forget the other Blue Beetle, but they were in the trailer. We actually saw their
I mean,
costumes, which was cool.
if they're introducing Booster Gold, don't you need Ted Cord?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are going to have Ted Cord in
You don't think
James Gunn's universe.
You don't think? Okay, because apparently the Susan Sarandon's character is apparently the wife of Ted Cord,
Right.
and she might have has something to do with this. Apparently, like the rumor is this a rumor, speculation, no backstory that Ted Cord is dead or was murdered or something,
Mhm.
and that she might have something to do with it to take over the company. I don't know. Like,
Something. It might be generic villain.
yeah, that's my problem. Like, I know some people in our community are very excited for this movie. Obviously, why? Because it's a first Latino superhero movie.
Yeah, solo movie, right?
Solo movie. I'm excited for them. I just don't know if it'll make as much as Shazam, or even it might make a little.
I think I don't know. This one is definitely a wild card, so I'm not gonna make any
Yeah,
prediction.
I mean, Shazam was a
I
wild
could
card too.
I could see it doing slightly better than Shazam. Shazam didn't do so well opening weekend. I could see maybe this being like 40 or 50. If it gets good reviews and like people are like, oh, you have to see I was gonna say Black Adam. Oh my god, Blue Beetle, right? And yeah, I think it would be interesting. But the trailer to me, like I showed my friends and we were talking about it, and I do like Blue Beetle. But I don't really was never a big fan of Jamie as Blue Beetle. Just wasn't particularly interesting to me. So I prefer Ted Cord. Ted Cord is the one that I preferred. So if he's referencing the movie or maybe he shows up, I doubt he's gonna show up, but then I'll definitely check it out.
I'll check.
And I kind of hoped. Remember, we had this theory that Blue Beetle was gonna show up in Peacemaker. Kind of wish that was true.
Yeah,
because then it would have been a little bit more interesting. Yeah, because I remember we did talk about that.
There's a connection,
and it would have made sense too. Yeah, yeah. But Jamie as a character, I don't know. He's just sort of like he's there. I mean, like I don't really know any interesting runs with him. So it's like I guess I'll watch it. I mean, he's DC, but I haven't been watching DC because I didn't watch Shazam 2, right? So I know people are gonna jump on me for that, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk this topic. Okay, this is crazy. We kind of talked to DMs. Gunn confirmed they're talking about DC versus Marvel.
Right.
Like, look, it sounds exciting on paper. It'll definitely be exciting on screen. I just don't think it's possible for a long, long time. I just don't.
I can agree with that.
I just think. Well, I don't know if it'd be like if I would do. I would not use MCU characters. I would just have an Elseworld Marvel characters, not Marvel.
Well,
characters.
I think they should use the MCU because then it would lose the appeal of it.
The problem is. I mean, yeah, and you also got to establish the DCU characters too.
Right.
That's
the more important part of it.
Because the MCU characters are way established, like way ahead of the DCU.
Right.
And also when you're discussing this movie, this potential movie, the two of them clashing, Justice League versus Avengers or whatever, who goes over? Like who wins? Like who's someone that doesn't lose and all that? Like if you have like Captain America versus Batman, who do you make sure wins here? Or we have like Iron Man versus Batman, or like Thor versus Superman. What do you do there?
Right.
Like you can't you have to agree on stuff like because you cannot have them both win or both lose.
Right. I think I think it'll be something where they all team up against something. I can see that happening.
They'll fight. Eventually, have to fight like some villain who's been manipulating the whole thing.
Right.
Probably some.
If they do something like this, I mean, it's going to take a lot of like negotiations and contracts and all different types of stuff. And I think this is like the only. I can't think of like many things that would get people back in the cinema in terms of like superheroes, like to get to that end game level, right?
Mhm.
Like the only stuff I could think
This would
of
be
is
bigger in Endgame.
yeah, like
This could be.
the only stuff I could really think is Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
Um, Avengers versus X-Men, I think would definitely be a very big movie, regardless of what's happening with the MCU. But they would also have to need the original Avengers to really do that. But
Also, yeah.
Secret Wars, I could see that. And this movie.
I just want
Everything
to.
else, I can't really see it
I mean, like Superman could take out like.
unless they do a live action Spider Verse movie with all the
Yeah,
characters. Yeah,
Superman could take out 90% of the Avengers, like
right.
like himself, like Black Widow, Hawkeye, done with Superman. Superman's done. And here's the thing about the DCU characters, or even the DCEU characters, they're so OP, overpowered compared to MCU. The MCU they kind of
Mhm.
watered them down a bit.
Right.
Because I think Shazam could take out most of the Avengers too, and he
Yeah,
still has a minus.
I think the DC characters were always more powerful.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's a stretch, but I'm sure
yeah.
they'll have to like play around with it if they do
They have to.
something like that.
You have to depower the DC characters.
Right.
I mean, Batman, you don't have to, obviously, because he's human. But like Superman,
But yeah, I think now that James Gunn is in charge, I think it's more likely. Will it happen? No, but I think it's likely.
I
Like
think Kevin Feige would be all for it.
yeah.
I think he would.
I think yeah, I think it would keep them both relevant. I think it would be interesting to see. And we had stuff like this in movies already, right? Like Freddy versus Jason and Alien versus Predator. So
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't new territory, but like this is something
it's
that
just
even
a new
comic
level
fans
though.
like,
Is it? This
right?
is just a different level, if you really ask me though, because like, yeah, we had
Right.
this before, but this is Marvel and DC, and these are iconic. Like these characters are more iconic than Freddy versus Jason. I mean, the
Right.
horror genre iconic. It's just that this could be the biggest thing in cinema history potentially. These
Right.
two. I
But I
look,
think they also need the original Avengers.
yeah, yeah. And the problem is, it's just as I mean, the visual Avengers is black. Yeah, like how would they do it? That's the question. Like if you want to anti-monitor do something, I
I
don't
could
know.
see Anti-Monitor being being the villain for something like that.
They also need them to team up with a Marvel villain. I think you would need
Yeah, I think you would need. Well, that's the problem with Marvel, right? Is that they don't really have their characters are beloved, but I feel like the MCU versions of their villains are not as beloved,
yeah.
which I hope James Gunn
Besides Loki and
learns.
maybe
Yeah,
Thanos.
besides Loki and Thanos, yeah.
Hopefully Kang.
I
Hopefully one
hope
day.
James Gunn considers that the DC villains are just as important as the heroes.
Yeah. Well, Batman villains are so important to his character.
Right.
Like
But even someone like Lex Luthor, Lex
yeah, the
Luthor is a
Superman of
character who could stay around for a
yeah.
very long time.
Yeah. And that's the problem with Marvel. They tend to
Right.
not really they focus they I think they do a better job with the villains lately, the past few years. They actually did a better
Mhm.
job of depth to the villains than
Some of
it
them.
did. Yeah,
Like
some
I
of them.
think Vulture was pretty good.
Well, sure. Killmonger was great, even though he's
Killmonger.
one
Right.
Killmonger. Uh, I thought they could have done more of Gore, but no.
Yeah, they could have done more with Gore.
Uh,
Who else do we
Namor, I think was okay. I mean, I didn't think
Namor was okay.
yeah,
I'm not particularly a fan of him, but I think if there's one maybe MCU villain from Phase 4 that I mean, is he dead? I can't really remember. The Mandarin.
no. Oh, yes,
Did
he's
he
dead.
die?
The
I don't.
father,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
he died of Shang-Chi, sacrificed himself. Yeah,
Because yeah, he wouldn't. He like that
yeah,
would have been interesting to see. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the one thing I think with Marvel. I'm just gonna take a break from Marvel. Obviously, I'm gonna see Guardians, but that's why I didn't watch Secret Invasion. I sort of want to like be impressed with them, so I don't really want to see anything going forward after Guardians, in terms of trailers. What are you playing? I hear some.
No, it's my phone. I'm checking
Okay,
George. There's
it
if you
sounded
check
like the
George's.
Switch.
Oh, it's my notification. It does sound like the Switch, but it's George's DM group, and there's something going. I mean, check the
Yeah.
DM group. There is. I'll just say it out now. Sequel to Mario 2 is officially happening.
Oh, they announced it already. I can't see because
Early in development. Early in
early in
development. I mean,
development.
it's happening. It is
Well,
happening.
I think we knew, but
Yeah.
well, if they are doing a sequel, I mean, like I said, they have to, because there's probably there. I can't see them doing a third movie, so you might as well put the characters who are not in the first movie, right?
This
Wario,
this movie
Waluigi,
is gonna make
Daisy.
him so. This movie's making him so much money. There's no. It's like
Yeah,
so even if they're not planning a second movie, if this movie made enough money, which it is, they're gonna announce a second. They're gonna do a second
yeah.
movie.
But now with the second movie, again, what are they going to announce? They're going to
Mario.
announce a Zelda movie, I think, very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if the next Tears of the Kingdom comes out, it's successful, and they announce there's going to be a movie. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to announce a Zelda movie within a short amount of time.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. So I hope, because like I said, Zelda, one of my favorite video games. This is the thing. This is the franchise that made me love video games. Okay, so
What was your first? I'm curious. What was your first video game you ever played?
well, the first video game I ever played was like Tony Hawk, Skater Pro,
Good
because
game.
that was it's a good game.
Tony Hawk's good.
But Ocarina of Time was the first game that I actually beat. Like got to
nice.
the end credits, right? So that's why I always
My first game I ever owned was Super Mario World for Super
right.
Nintendo and Star Fox. Then I got Zelda
Mhm.
or Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, yeah. Yeah, those are good games too. That's what I'm saying. Nintendo games, they hold up. Not all of them, but most of them do hold up. That's why I like Nintendo, and Nintendo's always the one who, in my opinion, gets creative with gameplay and mechanics. So, I'll never not be a Nintendo fan, because they just make fun games.
Yeah. But yeah, DC versus Marvel, I'm very like I would definitely be interested in it. I just think it's just a very complicated kind of thing to do.
Right.
I know Fahi would definitely be interested because I know Fahi is a big comic book fan. I know he works for
Mhm.
Marvel, but he's a comic book fan in general.
Right.
Yeah, I know he's a big Superman fan. He's a huge Superman fan.
Yes.
So I think if Warner Bros. Discovery in Disney and if Kevin Feige and James Gunn and Pierre Safran get to the table starting to talking about we got this idea. Like James Gunn basically said he has basically written it out, and they said, you know what, I like this. Let's try to get both companies on board to do this. Is it a one-time thing? Yeah, but it would most likely be a one-time thing. But
right,
I'm on board. Do it. Chris Evans come back to play Captain America.
Yeah, you would have to bring back the original Avengers.
I just want to see how Bruce Wayne reacts to Iron Man, because I know they're very similar because they basically are. Iron Man is basically the Bruce Wayne of the MCU, if you really think about it. Except I think Bruce Wayne would be really annoyed of Iron Man.
Right, probably.
It'd actually be more. I actually think it'd be more annoyed. No. The one Avenger that would not annoy him, I think, would be Black Widow.
Mm.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
I
one
can see
Avenger.
that.
I think
They're blowing up that group chat.
Yeah, they are.
Because I see it. I have to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yo, stop.
I'll see it when we end the stream. But are we gonna talk about the Star Wars news?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Recap. Yeah. Maybe are you doing a stream tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow.
I might do it. I might do mine at night, like at 10.
Okay then. Yeah, then that might work. Yeah.
That's what I had a schedule for. because I want to do is talk about Star Wars when everything is out.
Mhm.
Because tomorrow's the last day, right? So,
Right.
because otherwise, yeah,
Yeah, if there's more news, I didn't
yeah.
know if they're gonna drop more news, but
Look, I'll say this. I mean, I'm gonna say this. We're not gonna go in more detail about Star Wars. I had a suspicion. I think Degrassi told me this,
mhm,
so I believed him. But I also did have a suspicion that the Book of Fett, Mandalorian, and Ahsoka was gonna lead to a movie
right,
that's gonna. I didn't know. I didn't think about it was gonna end that whole little that
universe or
that
whatever,
whole yeah that part of the
part of the
universe, right?
universe, right?
Yeah, part of the universe. I mean,
The Mandoverse. I think
they
now they're
haven't
calling it the
they
Mandoverse.
haven't announced. Have you noticed they haven't announced a season for Mando?
Yeah, they didn't announce a season 4. Well, I think that's because we're not done with season 3 just yet.
Yeah, yeah. So I like, but we do know. But here's the thing, speaking of things, Star Wars related and DC related. It's
Hmm.
been officially confirmed that James Mangold is doing something in a Star Wars film, but the
Right,
Star Wars film we'll talk about tomorrow. But I'll just say it out loud: it's a prequel to everything. The
right, right.
beginning of the Jedi's, origins of the Jedi's,
We'll,
which is great.
I might have to mention this tomorrow, so I'll keep
Yeah,
an interesting fact for tomorrow because this actually might have been in development for longer than we think.
but look, I'll just say this: I like the idea, the origins of the Jedi, how they came to be, all that, the
Hmm.
Force. I like that. We'll talk about tomorrow because I have great ideas what they could do with that.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you
but
also going to talk about this episode of Mando?
yeah, tomorrow we are for sure.
Okay.
It'll be the first thing we'll get off the bat, the Mando. Maybe we won't talk about it long because, to be honest with you, I thought it was really boring that episode.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on it. Definitely not a good episode in some parts. It had potential.
Why Lizzo?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
And I'm sorry,
That's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Because
I'm sorry, I like Jack Black, but Lizzo made Jack Black look like a bad actor.
everybody in this episode, I thought was not good. It was
I
really
thought,
weird.
yeah, I freaking hate it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it, and we're going to detail about
Right.
it tomorrow. Like it was really, it was boring. But yeah, so Swamp Thing's officially confirmed.
Mm.
Out of 10, I'll give it like a 8, maybe. Mario 8. I mean, but so Swamp Thing's officially confirmed by James Mangold. Man, this guy's making everything. Indiana Jones, Logan,
Right.
DC.
Well, he's a good. I mean, he makes good movies, so
Yeah,
you might as well get him to do some of these franchise movies. I'm still skeptical about Indiana Jones, but I do like James Mangold, so I hope
yeah.
it's good.
Well, don't we talk about Indiana Jones in a bit because you
Right.
saw a second trailer for it.
No, no, I haven't seen that.
I can
I'm gonna
show it.
avoid.
Oh, you don't want to see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to avoid.
Because I know legally I'm allowed to show it on here because you won't get hit because it's a Disney thing.
Right.
But yeah, Swamp Thing. I mean, this is something new for James Mangold because Swamp Thing might be a little bit more horror, like than
Right.
he's done. Right?
Yeah, he hasn't done a horror movie.
No. And this is going to definitely be it. We all knew there's all hints of James Mangold working with DC doing something, but Gunn's the one officially confirmed it. Well, Mangold actually confirmed it yesterday. Then Gunn, after the news came out, Gunn an hour later officially confirmed on his Twitter account that Mangold is going to do something.
Mhm.
I thought that, I didn't watch the show, but apparently it was really, really good. But for some reason, they decided to cancel it.
Yeah. Yeah, I never watched the show either. I like Swamp Thing, but I don't know, something about the show, it kind of felt I think the reason why that show bombed, now that I think about it, was probably because of the marketing.
Yeah,
Because it felt more like a procedural show with Swamp Thing. That's the way I remember the trailers going. And so I was like, that's not Swamp Thing. So I just never watched it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I might have to. There's a lot of stuff I have to check out. I mean, like games and movies and shows. Like
I
there's just a lot of stuff.
Vortex. I played all 3 Lego Batmans. I did not play the DC villain ones. I played
Mhm.
1, 2, and 3.
I played one, a little bit of two. a little bit of 3. I don't like 3. I had to put that game down, and I never played the Villains game either.
I played of other Lego games. I played Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Batman, and Marvel.
Yeah, I
Not the
played the
Avengers.
first Marvel.
I never played the MCU Lego Batman games. The ones
The
non
MC,
MCU.
the
Yeah,
the Lego Avengers one.
never the MCU ones.
Yeah, I
I never
never
played.
played that or the Lego 2 Marvel superheroes. I only
I
played the
have no
first
idea.
one.
Do you know how to do this for him? I gotta go bathroom for a bit. So
I haven't had my 3DS and played it at least in a long time, so I couldn't really tell you. I mean, if it's downloaded on your SD card, you could Google how to wipe games on your SD card from the 3DS. If you could probably also do it in a way where you just take it out and put it in your laptop and just like wipe it on your laptop. But yeah. I don't know what else to talk about. Let's see. Has a comment here. Mando's going downhill, to be honest. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch the last 3 episodes. I don't have any motivations. Yeah, I understand that perspective. I'm just going to watch it because I'm already deep into this, and I do watch bad shows. Everybody knows I watched Velma, so I don't mind sticking with the show, but I'll complain.
I watch bad shows too. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just it does suck that the show has gone downhill. I don't know what they've been doing, and honestly, all the Star Wars shows, like like I said, the Ahsoka trailer was pretty good. Not sure if it's going to cater to me because I've never watched Rebels or Clone Wars, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind checking it out.
Yeah.
But the only thing Star Wars related that I'm super excited about is Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor, yeah, the game. That's the only thing that I know for 100% fact that I will definitely enjoy. I already seen the previews. The previews look amazing. They added a lot more to the game. It seems like it's still very much what the original game was, but with new, more open world aspects, more customization, um, more monsters to fight from the Star Wars universe. So I'm really excited for that game, and I think anybody who's never played Jedi Fallen Order should go play it because if you like Star Wars and you like Dark Souls and I was gonna say Castlevania, but it's Metroidvania games. Um, you should definitely check that out because it's a very fun game. I love the combat in that game. Lots of parrying and dodging, which I kind of like that gameplay. But yeah, and for movies, like the only thing coming up is Evil Dead Rise, which I'm super excited for. I love the Evil Dead movies. Yeah, at the end of April.
Oh yeah, April
And
movies.
so I'm gonna try to get through all of them, all the movies, and then I'm also gonna watch Ash versus the Evil Dead, which I only saw the first season. The first season was pretty good. I don't know if there's a third season, but I didn't watch the second season.
I watch. Oh, you can watch on Netflix. I think if it's still on
It's
Netflix.
on Netflix. Okay, I mean I'm gonna check it out and see.
That's what I believe I watched them.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch all. I mean, I've watched all the movies already, except for the remake. I never watched the entire thing for whatever reason. I watched the beginning part of it, but I never finished it.
What is this? I might. You know what's gonna be funny? I might watch this Power Rangers movie that's supposed to come on Netflix this year.
Right. Yeah, I seen the trailer for that.
It's probably gonna suck, but I'm gonna watch it.
I'm not a big Power Rangers fan, so I mean I saw that because we talked about it on Tony's show, but yeah, Power Rangers. I liked it as a kid, but now
as a kid, it's cheesy fun, but like because they do Peter Pan or Wendy. Oh god,
right. I'm not sure how to delete the files. You might have to Google that because I'm really. Unless I see it visually, I can't really describe it.
I know I missed stuff because I've actually been busy the last few days, so I know I missed stuff.
Yeah,
Uh, the Super Mario Bros. Movie has already passed 200 million worldwide in 3 days.
pretty good.
Yeah, but it's actually that's 3 days. This movie has been out since Wednesday, so it's made more
Mhm.
than that. Because we discussed, it made
Yeah,
over 300 million.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised by next week. It might be close to 500.
Yeah, it's gonna be the. It's definitely gonna be the. It's gonna be the first game to break 500 million
Right.
at the box office, which to me is kind of surprising.
No, it's
I
not.
don't
It's
think.
not surprising. There was a lot of people at my theater. Speaking of which, when I saw this movie, there was a dude in front of me vaping in the theater. It's like,
Wow,
bro, it's
vaping.
like vaping, right? Yeah, me and my friends are like, bro, like, there's a bunch of kids here. I mean, like, we're like, you're lucky it wasn't. He's not like smoking weed. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do that, but I mean, weed is legal here. I've
Mhm.
never encountered that at a theater yet, but yeah, like why would you vape in a theater full of kids? Like there was a bunch of people in my theater, like it was crowded, and I tried to go to a late screening, and it was crowded.
I would want
So
to know something. I went to a 12:30 movie on Wednesday afternoon,
right,
basically, and it had a good crowd. You know how weird that is for a movie?
yeah, people are rushing out to see
Yeah.
this, like of all
Yeah.
ages, and that's what we said. We said that this movie is going to make a bunch of money.
Mhm.
It's Mario. It plays to a lot of different demographics because Mario is almost a 40 plus year old character. So no shit, people. Who's tried to make that argument that made no sense. Someone who's not tuned in and doesn't know what they're talking about. Um, Ma-
Oh,
yeah, we don't need to say we
the
don't need to say
name.
the name, but yeah, just absolute brain dead idiots. I'm sorry, but just an absolute brain dead idiot take where it's like,
The problem is
uh,
you can't go into this movie as a critic.
just listen. I
Yeah.
know it's bad because I have criticized movies for doing this, but it's
Yeah.
Mario. Just go watch it. If you don't like
Yeah.
Mario, don't go watch it. It's simple as that.
Here's the thing. We play all these small games, right? We play all the small
Yeah,
games that have basically no story. We enjoyed it because of the gameplay, right? Come
yeah.
on.
I've played
Like,
every single mainline Mario game now,
yeah.
and yeah, I love the series. The series holds up. You go back and you play Super Mario Bros. 3. That game holds up really well, and the game is almost 30 years old.
You're factory setting it?
I mean, I guess that's one way you could do it.
There was like a DM. What else do I have before I go off to end this? Because I don't have a
Mhm.
lot of topics. Because most of the
Right,
topics are tomorrow, really.
right. And
I
also
was like,
too, it was kind of a slow news week, maybe
yeah,
because it's
what?
the holidays and stuff.
Okay, last thing we're talking about. We don't have to go into detail about. So Jason Momoa's Minecraft movie talking
Oh
is
yeah,
coming out April 4th, 2025 in theaters. So are you guys hyped about Minecraft movie? I'm
not
not.
necessarily, but I would watch it.
Oh,
I
because
do like Minecraft.
Jason Momoa's in it.
Um, I mean, yeah, Jason Momoa's in it. I guess. I mean, who's
Yeah,
he playing? Is he gonna play
I don't know. I didn't
Steve?
say. He didn't say.
I'm curious to see what that story will be about. But yeah,
No,
yeah,
Taika Waititi's movie is confirmed today.
it's still
It's still
happening.
happening. Yeah,
Patty Jenkins' movie is still not happening.
Patty Jenkins is. Yeah, yeah. That's you.
No, it's-
Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. There's nothing to talk about. It's usually a short stream. Tomorrow was gonna be a Star Wars centric stream.
Yeah,
Talk everybody like Mandalorian. This latest episode, boring episode. But we're gonna
right.
talk. We're gonna do a recap of Star Wars
Uh,
Celebration.
and by the way, I do agree with what Arkham is saying because
Yeah.
that's my perspective too.
But yeah, blinded. Go ahead and plug what you have for tomorrow.
Yeah, I kept delaying it, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing a stream on John Wick. If you haven't watched all the John Wick movies, you should go watch them. Go watch John Wick 4. Great movie, fantastic movie. So I'm going to be talking about all of them, ranking them. So yeah, and then I think maybe I might do a Mario stream eventually, like earlier, because I did delay that John Wick stream. So I'm probably might do like a ranking of all the games and talking about the movie. And also I might talk about the Bob Hopkins movie because that movie is just
Shit.
it's shit, yes. But it's just I can't believe that movie was made. Just mind-boggling.
Arkham, I'm not sure. I have it for scheduled for night tomorrow. But that can always change, but so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, thank you, Blinded. So yeah,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
no
like I
problem.
said, it's going to be Star centric. A
Mm,
celebration ends tomorrow. Okay, and good thing it's in Europe. Good thing it's in Europe. So it ends so I can get all the information that comes out from it. Because
mhm,
obviously, if it's going on during my stream, well, I'll be pissed off.
right.
So, but yeah, that's tomorrow. That's where Let's Talk Pop 17 Star Wars episode. That's it. Yeah. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Peace.